The place, North America. The year, 1983. Video games were on the Video games were on the brink of collapse, mainly because of low-budget shovelware titles like this one. It was a very real possibility that video games never would have survived in North America past the video game crash of 1983 if it wasn't for Nintendo. Nintendo released the Nintendo Entertainment System in North America and changed the world. The only catch? Most people did not know that they were buying a video game system. No, the NES instead was sold as a toy. Makes sense, given that Nintendo was a toy company, first and foremost. It was sold with a gun, the promise of more adapters, and it was sold with, first and foremost, most importantly, the robot operating buddy, R.O.B. You may know R.O.B as that one guy that nobody but me likes to play in Super Smash Bros. But back then, he was a huge novelty, and he sold a lot of NESs. Strange, though, for someone who sold so many NESs, he didn't get a lot of games. There were only 2 released. We're going to talk about one of them today. The only problem? It's not really a game. Howdy, folks! I didn't get the title wrong. This is the American version, believe it or not. They just used the same title screen in all regions. So, instead of calling it Robot Block over here, we decided to have my phone ring. We decided to call it Stack Up. This is normally where I would do a fancy editing trick to show you the other title screen, but I can't. There is no other title screen. You see this? This guy is
Profesor Hector.
And he likes to jump. This is pretty much the only interaction you have in this game. First off, seizure warning. I'm gonna show... Okay, that's not the seizure warning. First off, I'm going to start by showing you test. Seizure warning. Severe seizure warning, okay? I'm going to be showing you the first 4 modes, just because bingo, 1 player and 2 player are the same thing. But severe seizure warning for test. I just had to show that because 1, I love the music, and 2, that's how you made sure that your R.O.B was working. I haven't mentioned it, by the way, but in Japan, he's just called Robot, and he's got a different color scheme to match the Famicom. You'll find out that Nintendo doesn't forget that in future games, and that they love giving love to R.O.B, and I'm not quite sure why, since despite being a console seller, he was, in my opinion, a complete and utter failure. Anyway, here's Direct. This is the game part of Stack Up. What you were supposed to do, R.O.B came with these little plastic discs. And so, you were supposed to use these buttons.
Right.
Seizure warning again. Sorry.
Left.
You were supposed to use those buttons.
Open. Down. Close.
To to instruct him to move objects from one place to another. And once you had them in the correct place, according to the diagram, you press start, and you go to the next level. The problem is that the game has no way of checking whether you've done what you were supposed to do, so I could just press start, and it'll tell me I beat the level. And I could do that until I run out of phases. I have not checked to see if I run out of phases, but it doesn't really matter, if I'm being honest. So you hit select to get back out. You've got memory here. So this is the same thing as the last round. Except instead of telling Rob immediately what to do, it records a list of things, and then that's how you tell him what to do. So, down is when you move his arms up and down. So if I just do that, he'd move them down 4 times in a row. I don't think that's possible, but...
Down.
See?
Down. Down.
It's a shame that the music in this game... Okay, I can get out of it. It's a shame that the music in this game is so catchy. Because there is no game here. I appreciate what Nintendo wanted to do, but there's nothing really here. Double if you don't have a R.O.B, which I don't. I like that. This is the bingo game, and so your goal, as always, is to... I think I hit the wrong button there. Your goal, as always, is to make a certain shape. There you go. You hit A, and it goes all the way up. I thought it was select for some reason. So, your goal was to make that shape by making rows, like a bingo card. So, see? That's close. Again, there's no way of testing whether you did what you said you did, though. So, I don't know how this game would possibly end. But I guess it would have had to eventually? I don't know, dude. Also, while I've got you here, might as well talk about the fact that R.O.B was unbelievably slow. So even if you did try to play this the way that was intended with R.O.B, the built-in toy peripheral to make this seem less like a console, it would take forever to move one top from one area to another. Now multiply that by 5, and you've probably spent like 3 minutes trying to make one stack. That might be a bit of an exaggeration. I'm not completely sure. But, yeah. I'm glad I never had a R.O.B. I appreciate his service, though. I salute him. And I'm very happy he's in Smash Bros. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.